Burgundy and Gold faithful, welcome back. Before we dive into today's headlines, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and sound off in the comments. Do you still think the Commanders need to land a top-tier pass rusher? Or can Dan Quinn make it work with what we have? And what about Debo? Are 890 yards and 4 touchdowns worth $17.5 million? Let's break it all down. For weeks now, fans of the Washington Commanders have been clinging to a dream. That dream being Trey Hendrickson in the Burgundy and Gold. With Dante Fowler Jr. returning to Dallas in free agency after a bounce-back 10.5 sack season, there was a massive hole in Washington's pass rush. Hendrickson, fresh off 2 consecutive 17.5 sack seasons with the Bengals, was seemingly at odds with Cincinnati over long-term contract demands. Some around the league speculated that if the Bengals weren't ready to match his rumored $30 million per year asking price, he could be moved in a trade. It made too much sense for Washington. A playoff-ready defense, a brilliant defensive mind in Dan Quinn, and a gaping need on the edge. But according to Deanna Rossini of The Athletic, that dream has officially been shut down. I did a little digging on it, and I'm still getting really good vibes coming out of Cincy that they're going to try to get a deal done with Trey, Rossini reported. Good vibes in Cincinnati? Bad vibes in DC. So where does that leave the Commanders? Right now, the top 2 names expected to generate edge pressure are Frankie Louvu and Dorrance Armstrong. 2 solid players, but neither strikes fear into the heart of opposing quarterbacks. The way Hendrickson would have, Dan Quinn is known for maximizing the talent he has, no doubt. He did it in Dallas. He did it in Atlanta. He even did it in Seattle. But you can only scheme so much. Eventually, you need guys who can win one-on-ones, on third down. Guys who force offensive coordinators to stay up at night. And right now, Washington doesn't have that guy. It's fair to wonder, is this part of a bigger plan from GM Adam Peters? Maybe the idea is to invest heavily in the offense while letting Quinn patchwork the defense. Maybe they're eyeing a mid-season move. Or maybe they're holding cap space for an upcoming Terry McLaurin extension. Whatever the reasoning, if Hendrickson was indeed the plan and now he's off the table, it's back to the drawing board. And in a win-now year like 2025, that's a tough pill to swallow. Meanwhile, on the offensive side of the ball, the Commanders already landed their big-name weapon, Debo Samuel. Traded from San Francisco back in March, Debo comes to DC as a high-profile addition to a wide receiver room that already features Terry McLaurin and rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels. But let's reset expectations. According to ESPN's Mike Clay, we're not getting the 2021 version of Debo, who posted over 1,400 receiving yards and scored 14 total touchdowns. Clay projects Debo's 2025 stat line as 63 receptions, 890 receiving yards, 4 receiving touchdowns, 113 rushing yards, and 1 rushing TD on 25 carries not elite, but not bad either. So here's the question. Is that kind of production worth $17.5 million in 2025? Short answer, not really. Long answer, it depends on how you define value. Debo isn't here to carry the offense. He's here to stabilize it, to be a versatile piece that Cliff Kingsbury can move all over the field. Jet sweeps, bubble screens, mismatches in motion. That's the vision. He's not WR1. That's still McLaurin. He's not a fantasy football cheat code anymore. But he is still a valuable cog in a well-oiled machine. And that matters for a rookie quarterback trying to make sense of NFL speed. Make no mistake, though, the Commanders are pushing their chips in for 2025. They traded for Laramie Tunsil to lock down the blindside Debo Samuel, to expand the playbook, retained Cliff Kingsbury, to orchestrate a fast-paced, quarterback-friendly scheme. And they did it all while Jayden Daniels is still on a rookie contract. The only spot where it feels like the plan hasn't come together is that edge rusher position. Because if you're going to contend in the NFC against defenses like the Eagles, Lions, or even the 49ers, you need to get after the quarterback. And right now, this roster doesn't scream dangerous pass rush. So what now? Do the Commanders, Pivot to other free agents like Yannick Ngakoue, Emmanuel Ogba, or Carl Lawson. Do they gamble on a mid-season trade target? Or does Dan Quinn put his faith in a breakout year from someone like KJ Henry or a developmental rookie? One way or another, something needs to happen. You can't run a Ferrari offense and pair it with a Yugo defense. Not in today's NFL. With the 61st pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders may have pulled off a steal, grabbing Alabama cornerback Trey Amos, a physical pressman specialist who many analysts had projected as a late first or early second rounder. Amos isn't just depth. He's a player who could challenge for meaningful snaps immediately, especially on the boundary, where Washington has been looking for more physicality and consistency. That's the kind of draft pick that strengthens your secondary, but also shakes up your depth chart. And one name getting louder whispers lately? Noah Igbinoghene. Let's be real. Nobody expected Igbinoghene to become a fan favorite when he arrived in DC. He came over from Miami with the dreaded first round bust label, and expectations were low. But in 2024, he put his head down, bought into Dan Quinn's system, and balled out, especially in the slot. 74 defensive snaps, more than his first 4 seasons combined. Percent of those snaps came in the nickel. He allowed just 5.6 yards per target. Lockdown production from the inside. With other corners struggling, Iggy became the glue guy in the secondary. And just like that, the former disappointment turned into a core contributor. But now, things are changing again. The Commanders are entering camp with at least 5 starting caliber corners. Mike Sainristil, last year's second rounder, who could move back to nickel. Jonathan Jones, a veteran who still plays with top-end burst Emmanuel. Forbes, who the team still hopes will develop into a lockdown guy. Trey Amos, this year's big swing at outside dominance. And of course, Noah Igbinoghene. That's 5 names. Only 3 will see the field in nickel sets. Maybe 4, max. So when you look at the math and the business side of football, you see why Pro Football Network's Sterling C is sounding the alarm. He believes Igbinoghene is on thin ice, and a trade isn't out of the question. If you're Adam Peters, you have to consider all angles. Igbinoghene is coming off the best year of his career. His stock is as high as it's been since his rookie season. He's healthy, productive, and fits what many teams are looking for in a slot corner. Could Washington cash in? Maybe. But here's the flip side. Why move a guy who just earned his stripes, especially when depth is crucial in the NFL? We know how fast injuries can derail a season. Plus, moving Iggy now would mean gambling that Amos is NFL ready from day one, and that guys like Forbes and Jones stay consistent. That's a big risk. Let's not forget who's running this show now. Adam Peters is not in the business of giving out free passes. From the moment he walked in the door, his approach has been crystal clear. If you want to be part of this culture, you have to win your job every day. That includes former first-round picks. That includes fan favorites. That includes everyone. Noah Igbinoghene is a perfect test case of what Peters values: talent, effort, production. But even that might not be enough if other guys step up and outperform him in camp. This also ties directly into Dan Quinn's vision for this defense. Quinn's system thrives on versatility. He wants corners who can flip between inside and outside, play man or zone, and stay aggressive at the catch point. Igbinoghene proved he can do that in 2024. He was solid against the run, didn't allow many explosive plays, and brought energy every snap. But so can Amos. And so can Sainristil. If they all stay healthy and produce, there might just not be enough snaps to go around. And in a league where the nickel corner plays 70% of defensive downs, that's a big call to make. So here's where you come in, Commanders Nation. Are you still holding out hope for a surprise move to boost the pass rush? Do you think Debo's projected numbers are enough to justify his price tag? And more importantly, does this roster, as it's currently built, have what it takes to make a playoff run? Let us know in the comments. Smash that like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already, and share this with every Commanders fan who needs the latest updates. This has been Commanders HQ, bringing you all the insight, emotion, and news that matters to the Burgundy and Gold faithful. Hail to the Commanders!